Welcome in to Capper's Cave. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is free picks and stuff. Yeah, I didn't do it there. On Capper's Cave, brought to you by Intellect Sports. I hope you all had a wonderful and COVID-less Thanksgiving. Although you could be finding out right now that it wasn't COVID-less. I'm not sure. I just hope for the love of sports and football that these players were social distancing. But again, I guess that really doesn't matter as they do practice and play together. So the whole social distance, I'm sure it's tough for them. So let's just say we hope that they keep going if shit gets worse, right? But this year, I really think, going back to Thanksgiving and the holidays, okay? You have the best excuse in the world not to see family. If you're one of those, and don't want to hang out with Uncle Rick or Uncle Phil or Aunt Karen, the chain smoker, or Bobby and his perfect fucking family. This year, man, use it. It's the best excuse. Yeah, sorry, Mom. I really don't feel like dying this year, so I'm gonna stay right here. I'm gonna stay right here. It's the best excuse. Use it. Again, no offense to those we've lost. Sucks. But let's move on to more positive news. We have the one, the only, Locksmith Larry, or Larry the Locksmith, whichever you prefer. How goes it, man? I'm here, man. I'm ready to finish the season strong, man. Good. I hope you got a good pick for us. Did you have a good Thanksgiving? Yeah, man, I did, Ate a bunch, drank a bunch. It was fun, man. Yeah, that's what we do. But let's get on. Let's get on to, let's talk about the app a little bit. Get the Capper's Cave app on the Apple Store or Google Play. College B-Ball is back. We have plays on it. So get it. You're not only going to get these picks, but several others from all our cappers and also seasoned cappers on the web. We put them all together for you. That way you just have more to look through, more information. Makes it a little easier and on 6 major sports. So get it. It's just Capper's Cave. Right? That's what we want to do.
Come on, do it. Lay it out right here. Do it.
Just do it. Good show, though, we got for you. 7 or 8 picks, I believe, for this weekend, and maybe a Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Who fucking knows? There could be a game that's going to get pushed on. But moving on to college football, there's just 2 matchups, right? This week, ranked teams in week 14. Number 25, Liberty, takes down number 14, Coastal Carolina, and number 10, Indiana, faces 18, Wisconsin. That's it. I mean, there's sure to be more schedule changes even after today. But we got the matchup of the week, maybe the year, maybe. This is how fucked up this year has been. This is the best that college football has to offer. Liberty at Coastal. ESPN Game Day will be there. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to watch. We talked all year about these 2 teams, making us money, gaining momentum, and now meet Saturday, 2 p.m. at Coastal Carolina, sitting at -7 at home. But wait. Here comes the fucking COVID train. Just like that, today. Liberty, COVID issues. And yet, college football did a really good job. They're quickly replaced by BYU. Now this is the game of the week. Yeah. I don't believe there's a line yet out. It should be soon. Still early Thursday, so it should be I'm guessing probably around 4 or 5 it's going to go to BYU. Or not getting points, but they'll be minus points. So just like that, we have to erase the game off our board. Fuck. We'll see if we can cap this game for you, though, the BYU, Coastal Carolina, and put it on our app for you. So there might be an analysis on there. See if we can get it. Some other big news. Can the Buckeyes continue without COVID issues to make the playoffs? This has been a big issue all week. I mean, could either Michigan team, both still left on the schedule for them, could they cancel and possibly no playoffs for Ohio State, as they need 6 games at least? And they only have 4 under their belt right now? But they still would have a conference championship if things work out for them. So that could be a way in. I mean, this would be pretty shitty if either of those Michigan teams did it for that reason, especially Michigan. But thanks to Kurt Herstreet, right? He called out Michigan this week and he apologized. But I think this was a really good thing for him to do. They basically called it out, put it on the table. Said, hey, if you do it, you're going to look like shit. I mean, this would be funny maybe to Michigan fans. I get it. But come on. This is football. We want the best of the best playing in the playoffs, right? I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, man, that'd be pretty messed up, but you never know, man. This year's crazy. I seen crazier shit happen. But, yeah, man, that Harbaugh, whatever the name is in Michigan, he playing like shit this year, man. I can see him doing that, saving face from an ass whooping against the Buckeyes. He might do that. I agree, man. He is a dick. Just is. I mean, good coach. I think he could be successful in the NFL. If he'll probably go somewhere else, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Michigan signs him again. Who knows? But he just has that face, doesn't he, that you want to punch, right? Just a dick with a face like that. Right? I guess you can say a dick face, right? Can we say that? Yeah, I think so. The Buckeyes, though, big school, big football, Big Ten. They're going to find a way to get in there somehow, some way. They'll change their rules up because it's actually the Big Ten rules that says they have to have 6 games to qualify. But all the conferences kind of have their own same, they kind of keep it on the same basis. So maybe they switch that up. And that's another thing. The Big Ten would be so pissed if Michigan did it for other reasons. But again, we talked about this is the best excuse. COVID. They can easily say it and not look bad, right? They can say, oh, we got COVID problems. And everybody be like, oh, well, I guess that's okay. Because you don't want to die. I guess that's okay. I mean, they could. Now the Big Ten, they play still a game on this week. They go up against our boy, Rocky Lombardi, Michigan State. Maybe a play here. Maybe on the app. Maybe the show. Not sure. Oh, did we? Oh, okay. So we've already added some in. All right. So we got to play for you right now. We're going to give you because we had to take one off the board. So we want to put some back in for you. So Ohio State, we'd like the first half play here against Michigan if this game fucking plays. We'll see. But they're 6-2 ATS in their last 8 trips to East Lansing, right? Okay. Now we're going to the first half here. Just a first half bet. Take the Bucks minus 14.5 first half. There's not a Power 5 program out there this year that has more first half points than Ohio State. They're scoring a redunculous 27 points before the break this season. Meanwhile, at 8.8 first half points, Michigan State ranks 115th in the country. And their first half scoring. Take the Buckeyes to head into the break with a nice lead. There's one already for you. We're going to lock it up. All right? Can we do that? Let's do it. Buckeyes minus 14.5. 14.5. 14.5 at half. There we go. We got one back on the board for you. Good. I'm glad we did before we got into our picks there. Thanks to Liberty. Penix Jr., Indiana quarterback. We love this guy. He's been doing great, but now he has a torn ACL and out versus Wisconsin. This may be a play. We got it on the app. Not on the show today, but it's on the app. But I think with already saying that, we kind of know where we're going. So you might want to get that one early. Really not much else to talk about from last week. Not many good games again, besides the Notre Dame-Carolina game. But that game got away. Wasn't fun to watch anymore. They kept it within a touchdown most of the game. But, whatever. Lots of action. We'll take it. Games are still being played. Let's move on to the NFL. Is it time to clean house in Philly? We talk about them. I feel like we talk about them a lot. We talk about the shitty teams. I mean, the Wentz contract. I mean, nobody's going to buy that. It's so expensive. Why? And then you picked up this Hurts guy for what reason? Just poor management. And I don't think Hurts is the answer. There's just a mess. I mean, they got to fire everyone.
I beg your pardon. Fired.
Everyone. I mean, but we can't blame Wentz, can we? He hasn't had a great season. But it's all over the place. The O-line, the D-line. And if you can't battle in the trenches in this game, you can't win. It's that simple. When capping, always look at the line rankings or injuries. Always a key matchup to compare when you're comparing teams. You have to. That's it. I mean, it's that simple. If you can't block, you're done. You're not going to put up many points. The 11-0 Steelers get by a Lamarless Ravens and don't cover. Don't cover the end cover. But we covered the initial line at 3.5, because we bought it early. And I hope you did. This game, though, makes you take a step back sometimes in sports gaming, in the NFL. And you just have to realize these are top-tier athletes. RG3, really? I mean, wow. And then he gets hurt only to prove that he doesn't belong in the NFL. He's just a brittle man. He really is. Then they throw in Trace McSorley from Penn State, 6th-rounder. He throws a deep dart to Brown for a TD. Again, that's why sometimes we have to take into effect the level of competition in the NFL. It's so high. It is. These are top-tier athletes. They're going to compete. Now, it's really tough. Most situational, those games they're going to lose, but look, they still covered. Oh, and the Steelers, they seem to always do this with teams that are not clicking. They play down to their level. And this just in, too, Bud Dupree, defensive end, Pittsburgh, ACL tear, possibly. They're thinking that it really is. I mean, if you saw it last night, it looked pretty bad. Devastating blow to the Steelers D. So watch out for that one. It could really, it could hurt them a little bit. Other news, the Washington football team leading the XFL division. Well, tied with the Giants, right? We predicted this throughout the season. They'll win the division. Well, either them or New York. But because why? Well, I think in this division, it's going to come down who has the best coach. And we think Riverboat Ron Rivera for Washington football team is probably the best coach out of these four. Still proving he's a top-tier coach in this league. Off of cancer treatments. This boy is balling and looking for the playoffs, right? But they probably won't go far. Still an accomplishment. This does bring me to my next point, though. These teams shouldn't get home field in the playoffs. I mean, this year doesn't really matter. But let's talk for the future here. The NFL needs to change this. If you win your division, but you have a worse record than the wild card team that you're going up against, that wild card team should get the home field. Correct? Does that seem fair? Yeah, man. Simple is as simple does, man. Right? I mean, Skinner said it right, man. And be a simple man. If you got a better record, you're the better team, thus giving you home court, man. Yeah, I mean that's exactly it. So I hope they change that because I just don't think it's fair. Yeah, you win your division, you get in the playoffs, but let's be fair. All right, I think we're ready to go. Unless you got anything else there, Locksmith. Let's get into our picks. College football. Memphis Tigers at Tulane Green Wave. Green Wave sitting at -1.5, over under at 63. I think it's a good buy here with a team we've liked all year and been making us dough. Tulane sitting at 6-2 ATS on the season, 5-5 SU up against an average Memphis team. Yeah, 2-6 ATS, 6-2 on the year. Yeah, 6 wins, but we say average. Just barely got by Navy last game by 3 points, and they only scored 10 points themselves. Had to play Stephen F. fucking Austin, right? And University of South Florida last couple, not good teams at all. I mean, and those teams they really don't get you prepared for anything. Meanwhile, Tulane having a decent season, looking to finish strong in their last game at home and a chance to go bowling. Everything will be on the line here. The Green Wave coming off a tough overtime loss to Tulsa, but have won the last 3 prior, putting up a ton of points and covering. Memphis already bowling with 6 wins, right? And now they have a chance to better that next week against Houston at home. They finish up at home, all right? So we expect a flat Memphis team here who hasn't seen a decent squad on the other side since Cincy on Halloween. Tigers, 0-4 ATS the last 4 conference games. 0-4 in their last 4 road games, ATS. 1-11 in their last 12 games in December. Green Wave, on the other hand, 5-0 ATS in the last 5 games following a straight-up loss. 4-0 ATS in the last 4 games as a favorite. 4-0 ATS in the last 4 games versus the team with a winning road record. 8-1 in their last 9 games as a home favorite. Lock it up. Tulane Green Wave minus 1.5. Next up, another great matchup here in the MAC. Bowling Green at Akron Zips. Zips at minus 2.5. Really? Over under sitting at 58. Sorry, we look for the quality action, okay, and not the end angles. I'm sorry, and not the quality games. Yeah, man, that ain't cool, man. Why don't you bet on some good games for the fans, man? Thanks, Larry, but we stated earlier there's not many quality games this week. Well, my Bulldogs, man, they playing. They ranked 8th in the country. Yeah, well, who do they play? Yeah, man, they play Vanderbilt. Get the fuck out of here. What's the spread, like 40? It sits at 35.5. No thanks. I'm sure you have the farm on it, don't you? Well, man, they say a good betting man don't bet and tell. Oh, you're one of those, huh? But that's exactly the opposite of what we're doing here. Right? Either way, I wouldn't put that. I wouldn't put that bet on the board. So please, yeah, you know what? Please do keep it to yourself, Locksmith. We might have one high-profile game for you, maybe. This game, no. But we don't like either team here. Akron proven once again they have the worst offense in the MAC and maybe all of college. But on the other side, they have somebody fighting for that position. Yeah, Bowling Green. Yep, Bowling Green in the basement, Guzzlers. Again. I mean, we like the points here. As in none, as in the under. Both teams average around 15 points a game. Now you add in 90% chance of rain. Maybe snow, too. A little wind. In the cold northeast Ohio weather. I mean, expect a low score. Lots of runs. Maybe some firings after the game, as in the coaches. Not fireworks or anything exciting in this one. Under 5-0 Falcons. Last 5 road games versus the team with a losing record. Home record. Under is 8-3 in the Falcons' last 11 games as a road underdog. 8-3 in the Falcons' last 11 road games. Under is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings in Akron between these two. Take it. Lock it up under 58. Is that it for our college picks? Oh, no, I'm sorry. Our man. Is it you? Are you gonna do your pick? I'm gonna take your bet, and without even knowing what it is, I'm gonna take it. If it's a first-time listener, sometimes we don't always put Locksmith's picks on the board, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say we're taking it. We're gonna take it. We're gonna take it before you say it. What do you got for us? Well, man, I'm going to my bread and butter, or some do say my biscuits and gravy. The SEC, man. I'm sticking with the hot hand of Kyle Trask. Florida Gators at Tennessee. Tennessee getting 17 points at home, man. This boy's whipping up a storm there in Swampville, man. This boy, Trask, man, he got 34 TDs, 3 picks. 72% completion rate, man. Woo. They unstoppable, man. And now you have to go into this shitstorm in Tennessee. Man, they have to be the worst in the SEC, man. The Basement Brothers. That's what I've been calling them, man. I mean, shit. They're taking volunteers to sleep in the basement or something, man. Excuse me. Anybody out there, some volunteers here, man, want to come down here, please? I mean, shit. Not sure what they're doing up there, man, but it ain't good. It ain't good. They haven't scored over 21 points since October 2nd, man. Now you head in to play the top-rated Heisman boy? Good luck, man. Good luck. Good luck, Vols. Tennessee offense ranks in the hundreds in about every category, man. A D is just above 60 in every category. I mean, damn. Look for more trouble in Knoxville, man. Gators route 38-13. All right, man. Yeah, something's got to give there. And I like it. We're going to put it on the board. Maybe a complete house cleaning, too, here. Coaches, staff, recruiters. They won 2 games this year and only covered 1. Now, I know they're in the toughest division out there, but, I mean, they were touted this year. I think they were ranked at the beginning of the year. I mean, this line should move north a little bit, so you might want to take it and take it early. Lock it up, Larry. Gators, minus 17. Let's move on to the NFL. New Orleans at Atlanta. Atlanta getting 3 points at home. Excuse me. New Orleans, though, best team in the league. That's what they're saying. Best team. They have all the pieces with Breeze out. But they're not winning a Super Bowl or many playoff games with Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. They beat Atlanta, and they beat Denver without a quarterback. In that game, they only had 63 passing yards. We're talking about the Saints here. They had more turnovers, more penalties. And yeah, you can win like that when you're playing against a receiver at QB. Now they go back to Atlanta on a back-to-back road games. Atlanta gets to avenge a loss just from 2 weeks ago, which the game was close. Not the final score, but Atlanta came out hot and couldn't finish. They did. They were winning most of the game and keeping it close. There was a garbage TD at the end of it from New Orleans. I don't even think they wanted to score it. They were trying to lace the clock. But this has proven to be a good one for bettors. A good spot here. Home dog, short revenge. I mean, Falcons are 11-3 ATS in their past 14 games as a home underdog and playing some good football right now. Just whipped on a good Raiders team. 43-6. Only have 2 losses in the last 6. And one being, what? New Orleans. And the other was Detroit by 1 point. Covered the last 4 of 6. Back to the last game. It wasn't the Atlanta offense that stood out. And they can be explosive. But just played consistent. I mean, they're playing December football. Right? Run, defense. Sorry, we're getting a little feedback here. There we go. Yeah, December football, run, defense, and you have to make that adjustment, and good teams do it well. Atlanta forced 5 fumbles, 1 interception, no red zone scores, only field goals. Against, again, a good Las Vegas team. Falcons, they may not improve much on D all year. All right, overall, their numbers on defense aren't that great. But they're improving, and they're getting better, and teams can do that. But they will carry that momentum on a team they just saw with the same schemes at QB. Yeah, because there's going to be no Breeze this week again. This was probably the initial game, the first game. This was probably hard to plan last game, right? You didn't know whether Jameis or Taysom was going to be starting. You know, right after the Breeze injury. This was the first game against Atlanta. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to do. But yet they still kept the game close. I mean, expect Atlanta and Matty Ice to come out loose, firing the ball downfield, causing Taysom to throw, which is not his strength. They'll have to play catch-up. Again, not familiar territory for him. Saints pretty much have this division locked up with TB and Tampa slowing down, declining. Panthers, yeah, well, not much needs to be said there, but the good team, but we won't get into that. They're just, the record's not there. Atlanta, 4-7. They're fighting for a wild card berth. I mean, they're probably the best 4-7 team. I mean, take the points, but you might want to wait. At this, it's hitting at 3, but I bet this hits 4. Because with all the talk about New Orleans being such a great team, they're so awesome. So let's lock it up. Atlanta Falcons, +3. On to our first XFL bet of the season. Detroit at Chicago Bears. Yes, thank you. I'll be here all night. Thanks for that, Locksmith. I appreciate you hitting that. No, nothing here. We are not betting this game. I can't trust these flipping teams. I can't. Moving on to a big matchup in the AFC with big wild card implications. Battle of the backs. Where are we going? Cleveland Browns at Tennessee Titans. Titans sitting -5.5, over-under sitting at 54. Yes, battle of the running backs. Number 1 versus number 2. Cleveland. I just can't back you. I tried last week, but I just can't. 4-7 ATS on the season, no bueno. Although the Browns have turned things around this year. They're still a team you want to avoid betting. Especially on a road game. In their past 11 away from Cleveland, the Browns have gone 1-10 ATS. 3-8 straight up. Yes, they've been winning this year, but against who and how much? Jacksonville by 2 points, Philly by 5 points, Houston by 3 points, lost to Vegas at home, beat Cincy by 3. Cleveland, they're scraping by. Yes, playoffs this year probably, but due to a weak schedule. The last 5 teams mentioned, do I even need to say? Must be the worst in the league except for Las Vegas. But they lost that game. Baker's average, and we're finding that out this year. Oh, and they just lean on the run, which is best in the league. And then they just pray in the fourth quarter. You can tell they're missing Odell. Okay, the win percentage is better without him, but that's all relative. They obviously need him. Winning by such close margins against shit teams. All right, prediction here. I got a prediction here. Browns lose first playoff game by 14 plus points. Browns lose first playoff game by 14 plus points. Really? Lock it up already when that game comes out. All right, back to this game. Browns. Now they have to face a hot team in Tennessee, right? Who did the same thing last year. Played average football and started stomping ass and made it to the AFC Championship. A game that gave away. Expect another deep run this year from them. And it started 2 weeks ago. Titans off a nice back-to-back away wins. In Indy, in Baltimore. Big wins. Putting up 45 against a good Colts defense. And now face a team without its best pass rusher, Myles Garrett. Or no, he might be back. Mistake, he might be back. But they have several others on the D that are questionable for this game. I mean, Titans, they've been nearly unbeatable in the past 10 games. Where they've been favored by 3 or more. They're going 8-2 straight up. 5-5 ATS. Okay, maybe not that great. But this is why we like the 6-point tease here and with the under. Okay, this is one of our teaser bets of the week. The Browns, Titans, they both want to run the ball well, control the clock, set up a favorable play-action passing opportunities for Baker and Ryan Tannehill, right? I mean, this becomes more of a grinding battle between Chubb and Henry. Maybe with a few big pass plays. Okay? But Cleveland's defense has stepped up big time recently, right? That includes this unit giving up an average of just 17 points over the last 4 games. Weak teams, but again, we expect a little burst in a game like this from the defense. These Browns also rank in the top 10 stop in the run, making this the 7th straight versus a strength matchup and what should be a close affair. Take the safe bet, 6-point teaser, so you get the Titans plus 0.5 and the under 60. Lock it up, Larry. Last one on the board. Who do we got here? New York Giants at Seattle. Seattle sitting at -10.5. Is it still at 10.5? Oh, it jumped down. So that's even better for us. That must be due to Daniel Jones. I wonder if he's back. Is he out? Maybe, but I don't think it affects our play. We didn't even play it into our pick here. I mean, we honestly, even if he is healthy, we think they sit him knowing who they play, right? And then they just chalk it up as a loss. He's their only chance at winning this division. I mean, they still have a chance, right? They need him healthy. I mean, Colt McCoy, capable, but not a winnable quarterback. He might be playing here, but we like it. Best offense against the worst offense. Yes, New York has shown improvement lately, winning games, but let's take a little peek at who. Their last 7 games: Cincy, Philly twice, Washington twice, Dallas, Tampa Bay. Come on, nothing special here. Seattle playing some good football, and now have Carson back, who looked pretty damn good last game. And DK Metcalf is proven to, like, no one can guard this guy. Yes, the D has been horrible all season, but they have been showing good signs the last 4 games. Listen to this. They allowed 44 points, 23 points, 21 points, 17 points. That's good. Going down. I mean, this shouldn't be a tough scheme for them, right? Defensively. Daniel Jones, he's been sacked 31 times. He's the leading rusher of the team. They got a bad line, bad run game without Barkley. Whomever is at the helm here will have a tough time against this revamped defense of the Seahawks. Seahawks has won each of his last 5 straight up at home and covered the number in the last 7 of 8 against an opponent from the NFC East. They come to play in December. Seahawks, 16-2 ATS in their last 18 games in Week 13, which is, again, usually in December. This is an easy one. Take the large home favorites. Seattle 4-0, SU, and ATS in this series. We like it. Lock it up. That's it for you. Remember, you want more picks? Get the app. It's not that much, and you get them for a lifetime. Make it easy on yourself. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is Capper's Cave, free picks and shit. And we're out.